was the one where when you put me in it, and the first thing you want to show me is I can make my Tesla fart. Do you want to see?
Oh,
And he proceeded to touch his computer and the Tesla. I'm sitting in this man's car. My husband passed away. I used to ride motorcycles. I married a fucking man. Like, I married a man. I got bowling balled in a dessert restaurant by my husband when I was in Key West, in a dark booth in a dessert restaurant.
Hell yeah.
You know, it's the island. Anal is in the air.
I see.
He's an island boy. You
Oh,
know?
he was
Anal is in the air. You heard it here first.
I'll be on a date with someone, and then, I kind of have some butterflies in my stomach because I'm like, all right, I have to say the inevitable. They're going to ask, so what your last relationship? Have you ever been married?
They want to know if you're crazy.
Yeah, of course. And they think that question's going to tell them. I'm like, do you know how easy it is to get a man in a relationship? Like, that's not the question to ask. You want to know something?
What?
A lot of men are into sad girls. A lot of men.
No, they want to save us so hard.
A lot of men.
I'm so pretty when I cry.
When I met you at Shrimp King's party, which I love saying that, just like, I was at the Shrimp King's party.
So we met his girlfriend and we called her the Shrimp Queen. She looked so confused. Like
She's
the
like, "I guess
most
I am."
confused. She's like, why do you keep calling me that? Do you say and then I just realized at this moment, did she think we were talking about her pussy? Do you know what I mean? Did she think that we were like insulting the shit out of her? I didn't even think about that.
Oh no. We were like, what that shrimp do though? What's up? Like,
You nasty bitch.
I crashed that party. He didn't invite me. I just heard about it. I showed up. I was like, it's going to be fun. I'm going.
Wait, how did you find out about it then?
Lauren Polly.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
Oh,
is she nice?
Phenomenal woman.
Oh, okay.
I mean, like that ass though, but
That
like her as
ass,
a person
though.
too. Like great
Should she come over?
personality. Huh?
She should come over sometime?
Yeah, she's wonderful.
Okay,
yeah,
cool,
she's
cool,
a great human
Is she
being.
a comedian?
Yeah, she performs a lot around town. Yeah.
Do you say comedian for a boy and comedian with an E-N-N-E, like Vivienne for a girl? I don't know.
I call everyone a comic because
A comic? Okay.
I call them a comic
With
because
a K?
everyone who's the civilians, when you sit next to a civilian, and
Is that me?
no, a non-comic. That's what.
I'm not a comic.
You're not a comic.
I'm not a comic. I'm just real funny looking,
God,
you know.
Why am I here?
Oh,
Sitting
shit.
next to it.
A civilian. I'm gonna get my stink all over you.
People,
I'm
like,
very funny.
You
You
people.
people.
That's the
Wow.
problem here. But no, every time I talk to you people, they always ask me the dumbest question.
Like what?
Who's your favorite comedian? And I
wasn't
can't
even gonna fucking ask you that. Why do you gotta put me in a box?
because it's
and
you
pigeon-
people.
I'm very funny. Okay.
I believe you.
Okay. I once got a girl fired because she didn't think I was funny. That's how funny I am. Okay. That I literally hated this bitch so much because every time I was bringing her my fucking A game, like because I would walk up to her and she'd be like, huh? And I was like, I'll just kill you. So I got her fired.
I think you're hilarious.
Thank you. I agree. But anyway, the normies over here. The reason I can't be a comic is because I can't do it on a stage with other people there. I could do it with you. We're very funny
What do you mean
together.
with other people, like in the audience?
Yeah. That's the part where my underarms just start pouring buckets of sweat. It's bad.
Is it because you could smell them? You can't really see them. It's because
it's because the shrimp queen's in the audience. So.
Hey, we out here. You need your shrimp.
She's so nice girl, so pretty.
That's a good cleanup. She's so sweet. I want to see her pussy. She's wonderful.
I just want to smell it. Really is what it is.
Yeah, I crashed that party. I crashed that party. And then I walked outside with you guys doing nothing illegal. And,
nothing. Delta 8 all day.
Yeah. I fell in love with you. I did. Not sexually. Definitely not sexually. But I would.
But you'd laugh at my jokes.
Yeah. I would laugh at a lot of things you say. I was into it. I still am. But I'm telling myself it's not sexual still.
It can be a little
It was,
sexual.
you just had like mob housewife vibes.
It's the fur coat, right? Yeah.
Yes. Oh,
I
God.
bought that coat in a thrift shop for $20. And I saw it and I was like, this is all me.
Incredible.
Yeah, it was a good
Incredible.
coat. Yeah.
I may have thought about it once or twice.
Yeah, the coat?
Yeah.
And me
you-
in just lingerie
Yeah, you know, it
underneath.
just thought, and I thought about it.
Smoking
and I
a
was like,
cigar.
That's
Exactly.
Yeah, you know, I
no,
thought
that's how I
about it.
feel when I wear it. You know, I feel very opulent.
Oh,
I feel
it's
like
wonderful.
I need like just a bevy of fur coats. My grandfather, he raised foxes and mink to make fur coats, and my grandmother had a whole bunch of fur coats. She was very cool. Yeah.
I just feel like you can tell anyone whatever you want in a fur coat. Like when you,
Absolutely.
they're not going to say no. You look like you can know how to hide some bodies. You know what I'm saying? Like
Absolutely, but-
I'm laughing at your jokes. Like I'm not saying no.
I hear you, but the thing is like, do you have to be concerned that they're just going to like spray paint you out of nowhere? That's my concern.
Yeah. It might be worth it. Might be worth it. I mean, we all
feel
get
you.
sprayed something at one point in our lives as women. don't
Hopefully
we?
not on your fur coat. That cleaning bill
gotta hope
is
for the
heavy.
best.
But so about you.
Yes, about me.
Yeah, welcome to Manly Girly.
Welcome to Manly Girly.
We have here, as always, you know, I'm Arturo, we have Andy, and today we have Kristen Cushman, right?
Yes, Kristen Cushman.
Is that what you go by?
That's my
Comically?
legal name.
You're. We can cut that out if you want.
That's what the FBI
She's
calls me.
a local comic,
Yes, I am.
not a comedian.
Never
Never
no.
a comedian,
In the
a
beginning, I
comic.
was a comedian. but,
Okay. What's the difference?
You stop bombing as much, so that's about it. The bombs are less.
Okay.
That's all you can hope for.
So, how did you get into comedy?
I always wanted
Was very funny.
to perform. I don't know about that. Maybe. Yeah, probably. I remember watching, this is so lame. This is so millennial of me, but I'm just going to say it. I remember watching Ace Ventura, Pet Detective when I was a kid, and he was so ridiculous.
A favorite of Arturo's.
Oh, the best. And he was just such a fucking putz. I mean, he has a tutu and he's running around, and I just wanted to be
The football?
everything. Everything,
Yes.
yes. I just wanted all
He's
of
so
it.
physical.
I just
He's
wanted-
like the best physical comedian. Yes, absolutely. He's more of a man. Yeah.
It's incredible. I just wanted to like have the opportunity to be in some sort of performance where I come out of a rhino's ass, just like Jim Carrey. I mean,
Did you really like? That's crazy. I
Dreams,
never wanted to
dreams.
come out of a rhinoceros's ass. Genuinely,
I mean, he made it look fun.
he made
like
it look really
Nintendo in
Give
there.
gross.
us your
Is what
best
he made
audition of like
coming out of a rhino's
ass.
ass. She's like, I can't smear my makeup.
No, I just did this. I woke up like
That's what it made me feel like. I was like, that's just so, like, he's just so covered in Vaseline and it's like squishy and I'm not into it.
Yeah.
I'm not about it.
It was incredible. I loved it.
It was good. Yeah.
I fell in love with comedy. I just wanted to do, I wanted all of it. I wanted a space where I could do and say whatever I wanted. And
Okay.
then
Yeah.
like a lot of life happened in between 3 and 35, but now I'm back to it.
Wait, was that at 3?
Yes.
You were at 3 and watching
No.
Ace Ventura? And
Yeah, well, my parents were hippies.
Okay.
You know, I watched Roadhouse at like 5. You shouldn't show a 5-year-old Roadhouse.
No,
That's-
well, my son watched, what was that Mel Gibson movie with the Mayans? Apocalypto. My son watched that at like 2 or 3. So, I mean, I didn't show it to him. Thanks. Fuck you, Grandma and Grandpa. Like,
brutal.
genuinely, fuck those guys. I walked into my 3-year-old son watching Apocalypto.
They showed me movies I shouldn't have seen until I was a
All
teenager.
right, so
I
your
mean, it was
parents were
just-
cool hippies, though.
Ooh.
See, Roadhouse, that's totally, like, it's not right, but it's not just people having their heads lopped off.
Yeah, I think it would have been cool to have that innocence until at least like 10. You know,
Absolutely,
like I
for
think that would have
sure.
been chill.
Yeah.
That
I'm
would have
raising
been like,
myself a little sociopath.
yeah, yeah, exactly. That would have been a vibe. But you know,
So anyway, so where is the bridge between 3 and 35?
oof, a lot of life happened.
A lot of life happened.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm from New York, but we grew up near Miami.
Another New Yorker. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool. We just
they're
had Freddie over
everywhere.
here.
Yeah,
We're
Freddie.
everywhere.
Ugh. He's from the other. He's not
spreading.
from where I'm from. We don't talk to his people.
We're in Florida.
Really? Yonkers doesn't talk to
The Bronx.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. He's way more New York than I am. I
He
am.
seems incredibly New York.
he's
And I
way
guess that he was from everywhere but Yonkers because I'm not from New York and I don't know anywhere in New York. I just spout things that I hear from
I mean,
movies.
what can make the argument that you made the most New York move, which was to move to Florida.
Yeah, I'm a Florida New Yorker. There's a difference. Like Freddie's New York, but I'm like Florida New York, you know?
I would say Florida, New York girls are prettier, right?
Ooh, those are your words, not mine.
I mean, I just feel like maybe like you get down to Florida, you get a little bit of sun, you're not feeling so sad, you stop smoking as many cigarettes, you're like, oh my gosh, this vitamin D is doing great for my life. And then you get a little vitamin D, and then you're feeling, it's the Florida vibe.
That's pretty accurate. I mean,
There's a lot of Hispanic,
the thing is about
Latino guys down there, feeling much better about your life. New York, just, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the thing I think...
Maybe I'm just making it up, though.
No, I think you're right. We are beautiful. I mean, hello.
Exactly.
But I think what it is like, what makes us so beautiful as Florida girls is, we're so close to South America and Cuba. The cocaine is really fresh, Once you get it, like, right off the boat.
The dick is really fresh, too.
Yeah, everything's really fresh right out of the ocean. The food, dick,
I tried the food, dick, coke, whatever.
It's Florida.
It's Florida.
It's wild.
Bang bang.
Yeah, that's
Florida
exactly.
man.
So that's how we come up. So
So wait. So we were talking about how you came into comedy, though.
So I always wanted to do it, but it was rough growing up in Florida.
Okay.
A lot of trauma.
Wait. High school in Florida?
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
High school.
High school's brutal for anybody. So.
Where in Florida were you when you went to high school?
Miami. So
like Miami-Dade County. What city? Kendall.
It's like a half hour north of Miami, but whenever I say it, nobody knows it. So I just say Miami.
Hallandale, Hollywood.
Whenever
Boca
I
Raton.
say we go to visit his family,
Boca Raton is the most ritzy area. Like,
do you know it?
Of course, I grew up in South Florida. I went to Florida Atlantic University. That's where I got my degree
Yeah.
from.
Oh God.
Glades Road,
Oh my gosh, I cannot believe you just said Glades Road to my face.
So whenever we go to Florida, though, to visit his family, and he's like, South Florida. And I'm like, we're going to Miami is where we're going. We're going to Miami because that's where we're going, because that's what people understand, okay?
Yeah.
Miami.
Exactly. This is the first man that
as
knows.
far as I'm concerned, though, you're from Miami. You
That's
look so
what I
Miami.
said.
So pretty.
When I grew up in Miami,
Why are you trying to out her on our podcast?
listen, he's right. Boca Raton's expensive.
Why are you so expensive? Are you bougie?
Yeah, super
Are you?
bougie. Yeah.
Look at those rings,
Yeah, I'm like so high maintenance, dude.
They'll cut you.
I look dirty sometimes, like I dress like a man.
You said you washed your boobs today.
I did. I washed like the upper part of my body, so the lower part.
My friend called him a horse bath. It's just a little horse bath. The kitchen sink hits the crotch, the under boob sometimes.
I'm gonna offer.
You do the top boob. I like that.
Yeah, just the top.
I do the under boob.
No, that's fine. It's already. It's like once you put on a bra, it's done. You're gonna wash it for once.
Soak it up.
Yeah, soak it up, girls. I am gonna offer someone a horse bath.
A horse bath?
Yes. The next time I find a young caller, I'm going.
A young gentleman
offer him
caller. A horse bath. He's gonna be like.
That is the greatest thing ever. A horse bath.
Horse bath.
Oof.
Yeah. So anyway, you were in Miami.
I started writing when I was living in Florida. I was living in the Keys. I moved to Key West, and I lived there for a long time.
Yeah.
And I started writing there. It was just too much not to write about.
What were you writing?
Comedy.
Okay. You were writing jokes or just writing about your
Just
life?
getting hammered at bars on Duval Street, just, getting on a little moped. No?
It's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Moped or a jet ski, depending on,
Yeah.
Which is the motorcycle of the ocean.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's how we got around.
Super dangerous.
Yeah, it's wild. It's great, though.
I know. I've been thrown off of many. Let's do it again.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, you're there. You're getting wild. You're writing, though.
Yeah,
You're writing jokes, or are you just writing about your life?
I started writing skits and then started writing about life. And then that turned into writing jokes, like actual structured jokes.
You're like, oh, this shit is... I think somebody else thinks this is really funny.
Yeah, I mean, I've been through a lot growing up in South Florida, and my parents were wild. And
yeah, because they were hippies.
Completely wild and inappropriate. And
Was that awesome?
Yeah, like my dad, I was like 8 years old, and my dad, he had this big ass black dude as a friend. He looked like SHAQ, like a little miniature SHAQ.
Miniature SHAQ.
Yeah, mini SHAQ.
like Vern Troyer, but SHAQ. Like that many, or like
It
an
was like
average?
a mini SHAQ where you could look at him, you'd be like, all right, I could take that. But like regular SHAQ, you can't take.
He was an average size.
He's gonna blow a
SHAQ.
hole in you. You can't
Okay.
take regular SHAQ. You can
Okay,
take, like,
nobody can.
Venti SHAQ maybe, but
You-
yeah, he had this big black dude as a friend, and every time he left the house, I would say, "Daddy has a black boyfriend," and by like the third time, he got so upset. He goes, "Yeah, that is my black boyfriend, and I suck his black dick." 8 years old. What you know?
I thought he was gonna say he's gonna be your black boyfriend in the future.
No,
Well,
way
and
worse.
then he was.
He's my black stepdad.
Was he?
Goddamn.
Oh, I'm pretty sure my dad was gay. I've never seen him with a man.
He's
not gay, but like
gender
really,
fluid.
I think he
maybe.
was. He was very
Or
he was
sexuality
very-
fluid.
Very flowy, like a young
Yeah.
4-year-old kid. You know,
It's
like
ahead of the
very
curve.
Flowy.
Okay.
Like one of
Autistic
those,
a little? No.
Like one of those used car parking lot, you know, like things
Oh,
that
like a wacky waving.
Right. He's like, I'll try this.
He's like,
I'll try that. Just too many drug stories. But yeah, I've been
because the coke was good in Miami.
Oh, yeah. You know, you can't. There's a lot of women out there that won't date short men, and they're missing out on a phenomenal sex life. You're
Absolutely.
missing. You're just height. I mean, a 5'5" Cuban. See you next Tuesday. Like, shit. He knows what's up.
He does. He's trying so hard.
Oh, he doesn't have to try that hard. They just know.
They do know.
They know where everything
Yeah.
is.
So you moved away from Miami and you were so sad.
Everything. I was so sad. Yeah, no. I was living in Key West, and I was like, I gotta get off the island. I've been on the island too long.
The island, because it's island
Island
time.
boy.
You got that island time.
Yeah, you know, you run through that island quick. It's a small island.
Oh,
I'm
sure,
like, all right,
yeah. And then you get to the clap and you're like, see ya.
gotta go.
You
So it was time. And I just moved to North Carolina for a job at the time. And then that's when I really started digging into comedy. And I started at Good
How
Nights.
long ago was that?
Good
Good Nights. I keep hearing about. Good
Yeah, I
Nights.
started at Good Nights in like at the end of 2018, I think.
Okay. So
And,
the beginning of COVID?
Yeah.
Kind
no,
of.
not yet.
Was it-
Also, by the
Not
way,
yet.
I should note before sorry to interrupt. If because it is a very like, you know, free flowing conversation. If at any point there's something that you're like, oh, I don't want to say this name, or I don't want to, you know, like, oh, hey, let's cut that. You know, can you like, you know, I didn't want to mention this person or this. There's a little piece of a little notepad there,
for you.
right? Like for example, the previous one, he said the job where he works at. So we're gonna bleep that out. You know.
Yeah.
But
So
just
if you
FYI.
mention a word or a thing that you don't want us to say, that's totally cool.
I'm pretty
We'll just
pretty
mark
cool
it
with how
down.
it's going.
Okay, cool.
I don't
cool,
think
cool.
I don't think I have anything that's hands off. I mean,
Well,
besides
it's only
politics-
been 20 minutes. No.
Yeah, well, you know, politics are boring, so let's not do that.
Politics are boring.
But yeah, I started at Good Nights. I was writing with Matt White. I took his classes, and oh man, it was terrible. It was
You were terrible?
oh yeah, at first. Oh
Okay.
god, horrific.
But you
I can't
liked
even-
it.
I loved it. I loved it, and I bombed for like the first long time, like the first 6 months, just straight. And then once in a while, a joke or two would hit, and then I realized I'm like, this whole structure is off, and you really understand writing when you dig in deeper than you thought
Yeah.
you knew. And
It's finessing. So,
Yeah.
So would you say though that the jokes that you started with that you just finessed those, or would you say that you were just like, fuck it, throw it all out? I am terrible at this. I got to rewrite everything, or what?
I was coming in too hot.
Okay.
So I make a lot of jokes. Most of my jokes are life experiences. They need to be watered down.
I hear you. No, I
It's
feel
coming in
that.
too hot.
I feel that.
And Matt White like really helped me with that. He's like, you gotta warm them up. Like you were like straight throwing it at
Little
like,
foreplay.
right, yeah.
Yeah, I feel that.
Just bypassed foreplay.
Okay.
So
You're like at work when I was like throwing it at him in Miami. You know.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, it was like, I'm a girl. I'm always ready. So
Yeah.
I don't know what you want from me. Like,
but that's the thing.
I already warmed my oven, buddy. I came in to make you motherfuckers laugh, right?
That's
yeah.
it. But that's the thing. In Miami and Florida, where, you know, some of these jokes I did share, and I wasn't doing stand-up yet, but they work. But everyone's traumatized in Florida. So it's like, they're like,
They're
yeah,
more
let's-
willing to. Okay, but you really honed your craft in North Carolina, and with that
Yeah.
audience, even though they weren't the ones that necessarily laughed at them or. I don't know, touchy subjects. They were like the place where you found your home, your like niche for comedy.
Yeah, I met my husband, and that's when my writing changed.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he influenced your writing how?
Oh man, he like just ripped my soul open. I mean, I had this vision of myself. I didn't have any tattoos when I met him.
Oh yeah.
Maybe one or two little, I got this one with my girlfriend.
Oh,
Ones that
absolutely,
don't
yeah, I
even
got one.
count. Yeah, it's
On my
like-
foot. Yeah. And Florida. Oh no,
But-
in Dallas.
Oh, Dallas.
Weekend in Dallas. Got to get tattoos because they were
Anytime.
illegal where I lived.
In Dallas, they were illegal.
No, they were illegal in the state that I lived in. So we went to Dallas for the weekend and we're like, holy shit, we could get tattoos.
What state did you live
I
in?
don't want to talk about it. Continue. So
Welcome
anyway,
to the world.
I know.
It gets worse than the
It
Bible
only
Belt?
recently, they only recently got like higher than 3.2 beer.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank
Let
you.
us know if you need anything.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here. TBH. I'm gonna go to Miami and do all the cocaine.
Yes. I know a guy who knows a guy, so let me know.
Yeah, only OD a little. Because everything's laced with fentanyl now. Like,
Yeah.
I'm terrified to do cocaine. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Everybody's just dying because they did too much cocaine. And now, like, the drug dealers are like, oh, we got to make this cocaine even better. And so they're lacing it with fentanyl to get motherfuckers so fucked up that they die. Like,
Miami-
what the fuck?
Listen, Miami knows how to party, Either you can hang or you can't, It's 305, baby. Rick Ross lives there. You think it's like smooth out there?
I
Like,
guess. I mean, I don't know. I'm not down to do some cocaine that kills me.
You're right.
Isn't Lauren also from Florida?
Lauren.
Paulie?
No.
Oh, yeah?
I think she's from here.
Oh, okay.
She's a good girl.
Yeah.
She's
We're gonna
not
have to have
like
her on.
me.
No?
When I grow up, I'm gonna be like her. Like that's the whole goal. Like I'm gonna grow up soon, maybe like in 10
Maybe
years.
you're growing up to be exactly the person you're supposed to be.
Well,
Right?
the only
Here's
reason I
hoping.
remember is because I went after, I think it was the first time I met her, I said maybe at Haymaker. And she had this whole set about, having 3 abortions or something like that.
Holy shit.
And she had something in Florida, and I came up, I'm like, yeah, well, nothing says Florida, like 3 abortions, like.
Yeah, listen, Lauren's busy. Great girl. Good girl.
She's like a
Busy,
Starbucks and an abortion,
She's got him in her purse. She's ready to go. She's like, I feel pregnant. I'll be right back. Just pop a
Sometimes
couple.
you do feel a little pregnant, though.
Yeah, you do. You gotta like just take
Yeah.
a plan B for your mental health.
Drink a little red wine, pop a few Xanax,
That's it.
and Percocet.
That's all you gotta do.
Yeah. Throw yourself down the stairs. You have that deal with your girlfriend. Don't act like you don't.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Exactly.
Perfect.
Hell yeah. So what's your, and I think we ask everybody, what do you want out of comedy? Like, what's your goal with comedy? Ideal scenario? What are you doing the 3-5 years?
Yeah. I think comedy was the dream at first, but as I dig deeper and write more, I think comedy is just going to be, the funding, the real passion.
Okay.
I've been
What's
writing a lot about different things that aren't comedy, and I've doved right in. Like dove right in.
fiction, nonfiction, things about your life?
I'm writing
or
a
what,
lot
story?
about grief right now.
Okay.
I'm trying to.
I feel that.
Yeah. There's it feels like it's time to bring the room down.
Yeah.
You feel that?
Yeah,
Ooh, I
absolutely.
feel
We
it. You
can talk
ready?
about a little bit of grief.
Listen, we're going to have
Ooh.
2 people crying on the podcast.
Oh,
tonight.
for
Yes.
Christ's sake. We don't.
You think
we
you
can
think you
cry
can be mad,
if we...
Alex?
I'm not gonna
No.
cry, but I could fuck up a room. I could bring it the fuck down.
Okay, okay. Well, let's hear it.
So
By the way, it was very vulnerable. I
my
love it.
husband passed away February of last year.
So only a yearish.
Yeah, we're hitting a
Okay.
year next month, February 5th. Well, 7th. He was pronounced on the 7th, but
That's heavy.
I'm trying, what I'm writing right now, I'm still doing the shows, I'm still writing comedy, but what I've been capturing since he passed is very raw, intimate moments of grief when I'm in the heart of grief waves. And I recognize it's really unique to be a young widow. It's not the norm.
Absolutely,
And
yeah.
I'm like, there's something behind this. I don't know what it is yet, but I know it's important to document what it's like to go through these waves and to after
Authentically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah, he died suddenly. He had a massive heart attack right in front of me and died.
Jesus
so like,
fuck.
yeah, dude, it was fucked. It was fucking fucked. Like,
Damn.
it was like, so I'm like, I gotta do something.
Was
with
he
it.
sick? What
No,
happened?
he was built. He was a
What do you do
mountain
in
of
that
a man.
moment?
He
Like,
was
I mean,
so-
what does that moment feel
Jesus.
like? You know?
when he was having the heart attack.
Yeah, like I mean, like
Extreme.
disorienting. I'm sure. I mean,
Yes. So, it didn't. A heart attack doesn't look like what you would think it does.
No,
No, it looked like he was dreaming.
he just looked out of
Huh.
it.
We were just hanging out, and his body did like some weird movement, and I was like, "Is that dreaming? What are you doing right now?" And then it became apparent it was a heart attack, and in that moment,
That's terrible.
I mean, there's nothing you can do. You know, I don't even remember physically feeling anything in those moments. I know what I was
like a
doing. I
blur.
know I was giving him compressions and waiting for the ambulance, but I don't remember feeling him, feeling myself. It was, I know my body was doing something, but it was every second
So a
felt
little
like an hour.
disassociative.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
whew. So, but I mean, you know, life.
I saw my father, he had a stroke in front of me. And it was the most bizarre thing that I've ever seen. His face just kind of froze and then it ticked and I knew something was wrong like instantly. It's like, you know, that the room kind of changes. And I don't know that that's what it was like, but if it's anything like the fear that I felt in that moment when I looked at him and I said, "What's wrong?" And he said, it took him a second and he said, "I don't know." And I was like, oh my fucking God.
Yeah, dude.
I was like the sheer panic going through my body and the level of I don't know what to do in the situation like is astronomical. I can't even
Yeah.
imagine what you were fucking feeling like that. Like
Ugh.
I can't, like I can see it so perfectly in my mind what his face looked like at that moment, and it's horrifying to me. So I'm so sorry.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. It brings down the room. There's no
Well,
doubt about it.
But the thing of it is that who in this room has not experienced some level of grief that is
Yeah.
that profound? Who in this world has not experienced that form of grief? Why should we be so shaming of it? You know
Yes.
what I mean? It's
Yes, and that's exactly why I bring it up in rooms. No, I don't bring it up all the time. I'm not out at brunch with people like, "Hey, I'm Kristen. My husband died. Do you want to
Oh,
see
yeah.
a picture?"
I feel
No,
you.
like, but you know, that's I was recently on a podcast about grief with someone else in LA. You know, and I'm writing about this stuff because there's a stigma behind it. It's
Sure.
why don't we talk about this? In grade school, did anyone teach you how to deal with grief or how to deal with your feelings?
Are you kidding me? Like
Everyone dies and we don't teach anyone anything about it? We're just going to pretend it doesn't happen?
Yeah.
We're just going to gloss over?
Well, we don't even teach kids how to do fucking taxes. So, you know, they don't know how to boil an egg, but for Christ's sake, they can make a TikTok. So, you know, what do you want?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
no, we don't know how to handle grief.
No.
I mean, I don't think anybody does. I
No.
don't think anybody, the most prepared person, is not prepared for that.
No.
So I'm so, like,
No.
it's fucking brutal.
Yeah, it's super fucking brutal. But, like,
Yeah.
you know, to answer your question with, like, comedy, what I want out of it, I love it. I love it even when I don't do good on stage because you learn
Yeah.
in those moments, you know? It's
Absolutely.
just all so fun trying to figure out how to make a room work the way you want it to, no matter what room you're in. And then you have to change it in a different room the next night. It's all... I love the challenge of it. That's always going to be something for me. But
You love carving
the
that
passion of writing about things that could potentially help people, like it helped myself. I listened to podcasts, read books about grief, all of that stuff. And it's
Absolutely,
like,
yeah.
how am I going to learn all this and how to survive losing the greatest fucking person I've ever met in my life and not share
with somebody else.
how to at least make it 1 year, you know?
Yeah.
So
Well,
that's where I'm at with my writing.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Okay.
now, what would you say is the main difference, right? I think losing people, I guess whenever you think about them, there's always going to be some feeling. But how do you feel like you were a year ago to now? What does that metamorphosis look like? Like, what are the differences, right? Or like, is the pain as intense? Is it less frequent? Excuse me. Is it? I mean, I don't even know what questions to ask. What would you say is from a year ago, or 6 months ago to where you are now?
Yeah, that's a good question. everyone grieves differently. I think that's really important to first start with, because it's easy to look at my grief and my process and compare it to someone else's who's just stuck somewhere. And that's when everyone gets hurt. You just can't compare it. But where I am now, I mean, I'm a month out from his 1 year, and I love talking about him. You know, I wish that people didn't look at me like, oh, your cat just got ran over and I saw it. Like, that thing is dead. Like, you need to go get your dead. You know, it's like, all right, well, I just love talking about him. And the pain is different. It's different now. I fully accepted that he's gone. I fully accepted the way he passed. And I fully accepted our life together, our partnership. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was credible. We were ride or fucking die, dude. He made Vin Diesel look like a bitch. I'm telling you right now. Like, we rode motorcycles all the time. He used to be in a bike club. We got into some sketchy situations out in Florida a couple times, which I'm not gonna mention. But I mean, he was just so ride or die. There was nothing he wouldn't have done for me. I mean, or vice versa. We were just so loyal and dedicated to each other as human beings. It was, and then that's where the pain lessens, right? You're like, wait a minute, I experienced something so magical,
so profound,
so incredible.
Yeah.
I married the greatest person I've ever met. How lucky. How lucky.
How fortunate. How incredibly.
God, like, my soul is so free because of him. It was the greatest gift of my life, and it always will be. So the pain,
it's incredible.
It changes. You know, after the sting is gone, it's like, wait a minute, I created something incredible with an incredible human being. So some days are like this. Other days I'm in bed with, you know.
A box of tissues.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm going to watch reruns of Sex and the City.
And just cry a little. Yeah, I feel that.
And still want to kind of fuck big.
Yeah.
But, you know, everyone did. You know, it's big.
Well, but I heard we can't like him anymore. He got canceled, didn't he?
Well, listen.
You're like, I'm in old school Sex in the City?
He's always going to be big, you know?
I've actually never seen that show. I know who he is from context.
You know what's really weird? They are playing reruns of it right now from like early 90s when Big first came around. And I didn't realize how young I was when it first came around. And now watching it, I'm the same age as they are now in the show. And I'm like,
oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Are we the same age as them?
Just about. They're like 35 to like 33, 37. They're around. I don't know how old you are.
That's upsetting.
Are you one of those girls who's scared to admit your age?
Oh, no. I'm 37.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Oh, I'm proud of that. I look good.
So happy that you say it.
Yeah, girl. Look very
You look
good.
fantastic.
You know, I'm feeling good about it. Yeah.
No,
how old are you?
35.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
Looking good, girl. We got to keep it tight, you know? You
Very
tight. Keep it tight.
It's going to go sideways quick.
I mean, you got to keep everything tight. Okay, do your kegels, lady.
God. I've been kegling since I got here. Everything is tight.
Everything. I'm constantly. I got to piss so fucking bad. Are you kidding me? So we're still rolling. And we were talking about how you're a sad girl.
Yeah, sad girl vibes.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm a sad girl too. It's okay sometimes.
You want to know something?
What?
A lot of men are into sad girls. A lot of men.
They want to save us so hard.
A lot of men.
I'm so pretty when I cry.
You want to see something beautiful?
Like Kim Kardashian in her ugly cry face. I do not look like that. I look so pretty when I cry.
Like my eyes, they
glisten.
Glow.
Yeah,
it's like
for
beautiful
sure.
hazel
Yeah,
that
things
comes
are
out
happening.
when I cry.
And
you're
then
like,
there's like from what I understand, I've read certain studies about. There's a certain hormone that we excrete when we cry that makes men feel bad for us.
Yeah.
Hormone is all right. Just kidding.
Hormone. Oh. Listen, I've been on a couple dates. You know, I've been trying to see what it's like out there. It's scary. It's scary.
Yeah, being single is super scary.
So scary.
Every time I go back into it, I'm like, oh my God, I forgot how scary this is.
So scary.
Just see a dick.
It's awful. It's so awful. And you don't know who's clean anymore. You know?
None of them. None of them are clean.
No, I just want to like wash them before I touch them, you know?
Yeah, you washed your top boob. They should at least wash the undercarriage.
I do wash top boob. Only for women.
Okay.
Yeah, only for women. Like if this was like a dude podcast,
I washed my hair.
I'm like, I'm not washing shit.
What's dating like in 2023?
Yeah. 2023.
Terrible, you know. I'm just
as
getting,
a widow.
oof. Sad girls get it. You know what I'm
They
saying?
do.
Like I'll be on a date with someone and then, you know, I kind of have some butterflies in my stomach because I'm like, all right, I have to say the inevitable. They're going to ask, so what your last relationship? Have you ever been married?
They want to know if you're crazy.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
And they think that question's going to tell them. I'm like, do you know how easy it is to get a man in a relationship? Like, that's not the question to ask.
Do you like?
Yeah.
Do you know how easy I catch dick? Okay.
If you want to know if a woman's crazy or
Clutched.
not, you know, ask her something like, "What do you do with cinnamon on the first of the month?" Like that's gonna, you know, that's gonna really tell you what you're working
I don't
with,
even know what you mean by
right?
that.
I know. Yeah. Now we know.
You
what
a
kind of
witch,
crazy-
bitch,
It
aren't
was a
you?
test. It
Ooh,
was
the
a
pants
test.
don't lie. The pants don't lie.
Your girl got an altar at the front door and everything.
Nailed it.
Yeah, I knew it.
Have you had a recent terrible date that went really badly?
Ooh.
Yes.
What went badly about it?
Can you say?
Yeah, it went
Say
bad.
his name.
No.
Say his name. His name's Tony.
We could call him Tony.
Call him
You know
Tony.
what? He could pull off Tony.
He could pull off
He
Tony.
could. He looks. He's a
Looks
fucking putz, like a Tony.
Absolutely, or a
Yeah.
Paul.
You're like, it's gonna end here.
Maybe more like an
Tony
Antonio.
or a Paul.
Yeah.
I hate Pauls. All Pauls are dicks. Everyone. Even
Yeah.
if they got good hair.
Paul's.
Yeah.
Oof. It's like probably the most unattractive. Aside from
Paul.
like Kevin, you know, you got those Kevins who are like the future rapists of America.
Kevin.
They all went to like a
Or a
fraternity.
Kyle.
I think Kyle Jr. Kyle the third is a dick.
Kyle the third. There's no Kyle the third.
Kyle the third could get
Fingers
fucked.
crossed. Okay. So anyway, tell us about this terrible date with Tony.
I was talking to a guy, like we were on the date, and in my head I'm like, this isn't gonna go anywhere. And he goes, "Do you want to see my Tesla?"
I thought you were going to say testicles. I swear to God.
I would have been more
Tesla.
comfortable with that. I would
No,
have
for
been like,
sure. Yeah,
now
yeah.
we're talking.
Okay.
Let's figure it out.
Now
You know,
you're at least progressing the date.
yeah, you know, like it could. I don't know
Do
what
you
you're
want to
working with.
see my Tesla? Is that the modern day, like Gen Z version of "Do
What
you
model
want to
was it?
see my
Was it a Model 3?
Ferrari"?
This
Please tell
may-
me it was a Model 3.
I think it was. I don't know. It was the one where when you put me in it, and the first thing you want to show me is I can make my Tesla fart. Do you want to see?
Oh,
And
you
he
know.
proceeded to touch his computer and the Tesla. I'm sitting in this man's car. My husband passed away.
You're
I
just
used to
looking for
ride motorcycles. I married a fucking man. Like
Yeah.
I married a man. And I
Take
was,
me to your Tesla, daddy.
my husband had an F-350 diesel truck. Like that motherfucker was a man. You
You're
know
like,
what I'm
that
saying?
motherfucker fucked.
Fucked hard.
Yeah, he did.
The road and
Fucking,
bitches.
he was trying to nail you through that fucking bed, bitch.
I was like, let's get another truck.
Yeah, that's right, daddy.
But I'm sitting in that Tesla and I'm thinking to myself, my dead husband is so embarrassed for the both of us right
Oh,
now.
for
Like
sure.
here, this little
Did
man.
he think you were gonna like go down on him in that Tesla? Were you just
didn't
gonna
even
be, like,
try. That was-
panties drop or just what?
He didn't even try to make a move. He
Well, then
clearly his
Yeah.
intentions were to show the Tesla fart.
Yeah. Well,
That
you
was
thought
his-
maybe that would, make
You're
those
like, I can make
drawers
my
just
pussy
fall,
fart
you know?
too.
Oof. He was a 35-year-old man. The problem was he weighed under 200 pounds. I broke my rule.
I feel that.
I don't date under 200. I
I
like them.
hear that.
Yeah.
I feel that on a visceral level. I feel that.
Listen,
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
go for 5'5" any day, but you under 200, it ain't happening. I need,
for sure. If you
Yeah,
are
yeah.
if you're smaller than me, we don't fuck.
You're making our audience nervous. It's like,
Yeah,
You hear that,
I like 'em.
Alex? If you're smaller than me, we don't fuck.
yeah.
I'm not a man though.
You're not a man.
No, I don't meet those qualities.
You don't mean
Yeah.
well.
You're your way to becoming
you're
a man,
chiseling
that's
out the man inside you. You know what? I hear Alex fucks.
Hard. That hat says
Poppy,
everything.
right?
You and Freddie
what
got
is it,
matching
the-
hats.
The
Hey.
5-panel hat.
Is that like some sort of, like, instead of Fight Club, it's Fuck Club? You and Freddie are starting that shit with those hats? What is it, a
They had
5-point
it in
hat?
the-
Is that what you called it?
Yeah.
How do we get
5-point.
tickets to the 5-point hat club?
Yeah.
Got to talk to Freddie about that. That fucking Latino
already
fire.
did.
I did. I told
You're
him.
like,
Did I hit on Freddie before
Freddie,
he came
you're
here?
like, Freddie, I hear that you're single. How's it going, daddy, puppy?
I did.
You know?
Do you remember that part when I took off my pants too?
You
And I was
did.
like,
You did. You just
yeah.
threw your panties at him,
He
and I
took
was
it
like,
well.
he like flossed his teeth
Yeah.
with them.
He started
was into
speaking in
it.
tongue, his
Yeah,
native
he
language.
He
It
was
was
like
wonderful.
eyes rolled back in his head. Yeah, that's exactly
Reminded me
like
of
that.
Miami. I was like, do you need a green card? Let's do this. Let's do this. Hey, listen, I'm going to tell you something about Key West. I'm probably going to get shot for this, so it was nice knowing you, and you know what happened if I do. But there's a large population of Russians in Key West.
Is there?
So big.
Okay.
And they run deep, like
Yeah.
mafia deep, like
Okay.
Italian mafia deep. I've been offered on like 3 different times $50,000 cash to marry someone so they could get a green card. And they'll set you up an apartment. They'll take pictures of you guys. They'll put them on the walls, and it'll look like you have to look like you're
could be-
together.
do you know
Yeah,
what?
dude.
Okay. So
It's
do
a
you,
business. It is.
You know, like trust fund baby. Do you know what like the old term is of trust fund baby? Is a trust fund lady?
Yeah.
Gonna be one of those.
Dude,
You
Key
could
West.
basically be like you're like a sugar baby, sugar lady, because
Green card, sugar mama.
a sugar lady. That
You want to stay in this country?
absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, the Russians
Buy
are
me a
paying more
fur
than
coat.
Latinos. I thought the going rate was 20,000 if they're coming from South America. You
No,
know?
Russians will pay you
50K.
proper. Yeah, they'll
50
pay-
and put you in an apartment and take
they'll-
pictures of you.
They'll make sure
Professional.
it works. They'll pay you proper. And some of them look good. It's not
Oh, I'm sure.
Real
some of
good.
them look real inbred, but some of them look good too.
like
I'm
Russian
sure.
Ken daddies. They all look like the same.
Russian what?
Ken daddies, you know, like the Ken dolls, like Ken and Barbie.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I didn't know
Russian
that
Ken
was like
daddies.
Russian Ken
Where their muscles
daddy.
are so chiseled but not big. They're just like cut and they look fake.
They do.
Yeah.
That's
I
great.
don't know. This
did
is an
not know
LOL
that was a
dollhouse,
term.
so, you know.
Huh?
I said this is an LOL dollhouse, so I don't know about these Kens and Barbies.
Do you know what LOL dolls are?
Is that a sex thing?
Well,
Not yet.
It kind of. No, you know it is. Some disgusting. It's dolls. Like when we were girls, young ladies, we had Barbies, and now they have LOL dolls, and they have the biggest asses and nipples on their boobs and thigh gaps. It's like the most atrocious, like slutted out makeup
They have
and
back
everything.
dimples.
They have back dimples on above their butts. I was like, oh my
Yeah, it's
God, this
insane.
is a doll that we give to 10-year-olds? Jesus Christ.
6-year-olds.
6-year-olds. LOL dolls. Tell your
No.
friends.
Back dimples?
Back,
Back
dimples.
dimples.
Do you know what back dimples scream on any woman? And it just so
I
happens
want to
to
get fucked? No.
anal. That's all they scream. Anal. That's it. Like that's number one. Number one, we start with anal and see
Yeah.
how it works out. I'm not judging back dimple
Yeah.
girls, but they know they're
Well, LOL dolls, then I guess they give it up ass on the first date. You know?
What are
I'm
your
not
views on
thrilled with
What are
them.
your views on anal? Yay, nay?
How do you feel about your husband?
Listen, I'm gonna tell you right
You're
now.
like, a husband could get it.
My husband got anal whenever he took me somewhere. So when
You know? Well,
he took me to Puerto Rico,
But you were in
Las
love
Vegas,
with his ass.
California, Key West. We went back. We went.
you lived in the Keys. What is that?
I took him back.
He got anal and go to the Keys. You already lived there.
Yeah. The A and
You're like, I
stands
loved
for
him.
air
I loved him a
travel.
lot.
No, I can't share that. That's too much. I don't know who watched.
It's never too much. It's never too much.
Key West brings something out in you, you know, like I got bowling balled in a dessert restaurant by my husband when I was in Key West in a dark booth in a dessert restaurant.
Hell yeah.
You know, it's the island. You just
It's the
anal is
island
in the
time.
air. It's
I see.
He's an island boy. You
oh,
know?
he was an
Anal
island.
is in the
Yeah.
air. You heard it here first.
Anal is in the air. Welcome to Key West.
You said
So
that-
romantic.
You think the Tesla guy wouldn't have fucked you in the ass? Is what you're saying?
If he made a move on me, I think the fart would have been more appreciated. The farting car. I think if you were like, are you gonna at least try to do like molest or
The reason you got
not gonna
me
take
here,
advantage of
the
them?
whole
Yeah.
reason that you did this was so that you could make a move on me. Like that's the goal, right? Like you embarrassed yourself so horribly just so you could like try to get in my pussy, right?
There's only been 2 reasons in my life why a man would put me in a car like that on a date. It's either to do a line or to
Car
know,
line.
it's
Yeah.
just
yeah,
like-
yeah. That,
I don't know.
That is funny because you did go to your car, right? So maybe, ladies, I think this might help a lot of our viewers, right? You're on a first date. You expect the guy to make a move, correct? If it's going in that direction, or no?
He did try to kiss me.
Would
When
you
we
go
He did in the car?
No, when we got out of the Tesla, And we were standing there. And
He's like, "Are you sufficiently impressed?"
he tried to
By
kiss
my
me.
test?
And I was like, I did that like high school hug, like, okay, bye.
Oh, they don't put your wiener too close to me.
No.
Gross.
I mean, there's nothing that, gets those panties wet like a fart noise from a Tesla, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Nailed it.
But it's kind of like what we were talking about. We rented a Tesla a couple of weeks ago. We drove up to the mountains just to like check out the hype. What's a Tesla really like on a trip? Obnoxious. It was obnoxious is mostly what it was.
gosh.
It was like interesting in a lot of ways. It had a lot of really cool features or whatever, but it just came down to the fact that it's like, okay, Tesla owners think that they're better than everybody else.
Yeah.
That they think that they're like the shit for having a Tesla. And I think that that's kind of what that man was doing with you. He was like, hey, did you see my Tesla? And you're like, bitch, it's only $35,000. Come on.
Now,
You're not impressive.
Yeah. What did you go on a date with this guy? Because it sounds like
So-
you should have been able to spot it
Because the
even
internet.
before the date.
So I made them, it was a mistake. I downloaded the app for like 2 days, one of the apps. And it was like, do
Was
you
it
know
Bumble?
what it feels like? Yeah. Do you know what it feels like to download the apps after being in like a really healthy relationship for a long time where things have changed drastically, very drastically? It's like dirty heroin. Like I've never done heroin, but I'm like, downloading Bumble, I imagine that's what doing like dirty heroin. It's stepped on. You're like, this is probably not even heroin, but I'm gonna do it.
didn't
Like,
know.
just felt
Icky.
so gross.
Well, I
but
think Bumble is the issue, right? And we've talked about this before. It's like the women have to make the first move right over there. You started off wrong. You started off with a bunch of like sad boy beta cucks. They're just like, come to me. Like it's okay. But how many, and maybe this can give me your insight. Do you think that a guy at least putting himself out there and going for it, let's say you find him in the wild or an app or reaches out, are you more likely to go on a date with that person than if you see him on Bumble and you might just swipe away? Like, is that level of brazenness just to be like, maybe not, maybe I swipe right on him, but if he's direct, you'd be more open to it. Is there anything to
you
that?
mean like if someone came up to me in person and
Yeah,
I saw in
something
person
like that.
instead? Listen, I said this last night to someone after a mic. It's a very, very immature and insecure comic around town. I'm not going to say his name. It's not necessary. But every time I see
Does
him,
it start with an S?
we'll talk later.
You can tell me after.
But every time I see him, oh God, he just needs so much fixing. But I'm like, it's not mine to fix. But I was with some people, and I said he was trying to shoot a shot with someone at the bar, and I was like, you want to know what the sexiest thing any man could do? It doesn't matter what they look like. You would think I get approached a lot, right? Like, I'm cute.
You're beautiful.
You
Yeah,
think I'll get
absolutely.
approached? I never get asked out. I never get approached. No one approaches me. Nothing. And if any man, doesn't matter shape, size, color, where they're from, if they're missing limbs, if a man walked up to me from across the room and said, I'm sorry, I just had to come and talk to you, I would have regretted it not meeting you. I would have been like, please sit down. Let's hang. Like, I would give them the time of day.
Soaked,
like,
right?
Nobody
Absolutely.
talks to me. Nobody comes
Yeah.
up to me.
I
And
hear
I'm
that.
a confident woman. I have no problem going up to someone.
I was going to say, do you go up to other men?
I do, but they don't like it.
They
And then-
hate it.
yeah,
They fucking
hate it. They
I've
do.
never had success
Never.
with walking up to a man because they fucking hate it because they need to be in control.
And that
And they're
tells
so
you-
unsure. They're like,
yeah.
oh my God. They're like, there must be something wrong with you.
Like, you're crazy. You're
I'm
crazy.
not crazy.
It-
I mean, but you'd like it.
Oh my gosh, I would love it. I would love you're crazy. I'm
a
even
cer-
fixing my hair thinking about it. I really did. Like, I'm not sure how I love you yet, but I know I fell in love.
Right?
I'm not
Yeah.
sure what that love means yet. I don't know
think
which
it's 'cause
category.
We're going to find out.
Oh yes, this
It's
is
gonna be
not
fun.
This is the beginning of us. This isn't the end of us.
So, like,
This doesn't end when the podcast is done.
beginning of us.
It's the beginning. If I could turn back. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna start singing.
If I could reach the stars. No, you got to do the voice, you know?
Oh yeah, dating. It's terrible.
Oh, yeah, it's really fucking
it
terrible.
Or would you say most men or women, as you're dating, get it wrong? Like, especially now you're fresh, right? Like you're a widow, you started with the apps again.
Yeah.
What are people not getting right either in the approach, in the apps, or in the actual dates?
They're projecting. It's all projecting. That's what I've experienced. Like, for example, I had few pictures of me, one doing stand-up, one like at a beach looking like I love life. You know how it is on those apps.
Yeah, you gotta
this man,
One in Cusco, with a fucking mountain.
Yeah, you're very well traveled
Yes.
and you're like with it. Yeah.
all these books I read all day, I'm just stacked around, And
Absolutely. You got time for that.
this guy messaged me and he goes, your entire profile is deceiving. I was like, excuse me?
What?
And I looked at his, and he's doing all that weird adventure stuff too. And some's like black and white, and there's like a light in his eye, and it's supposed to be artistic. I'm like, I can't even see your face. Anyway, so
Okay.
I was like, okay, please can elaborate. And
so he's negging you.
oh yeah, he's like
Negging you hard. You took the bait.
Yeah, of course. I wanted to hear how I'm
Yeah,
deceiving.
he's like, this bitch is a widow. She's done. I'm gonna nag her, and that'll get her pussy real wet.
Oh my gosh, dude. He lit me up. He was like, you look so different in all your photos. You're probably a catfish. Like he really
Oh
I thought
my
he was-
God.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna call
was.
MTV on me. I was like, wow, this is getting you're upset.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
upset. And I was like, you're
Yeah.
projecting. Where's
Interest
this coming?
seduction approach from this
So
guy.
Yeah.
I have this whole thing is like women, we just need to collaboratively write a book of every nasty thing that a man has ever said to us upon the first message on a dating app. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they just come in so hot sometimes.
Sorry, what did you
I don't remember.
We were talking about the book where women should write about all the times.
If we
projection.
told people nobody would ever date again, and I think that that's what's happening with the new generation. We've told them too many horror stories, and now they're like, just horrified.
It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. And then, I'm a very positive person.
Yeah.
I'm a very happy person. I think I'm nice to everyone. They don't
Sure.
like that either. They don't like that. They don't like when you're too nice. I don't know. Help me help you. This is nothing you're doing has anything to do with me. It's
You
like
should
a
just-
blanket of projection.
But that's just it. You just have to be yourself, right?
Oof, too healed for these people, man. I'm too woke. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am so healed. Like,
Yeah.
I
What
can't
is
even.
on the apps, right? Especially as a non app user, what is both of you, right? What is a good first message look like? Like somebody swiped on you. Let's say it's on Bumble. By the way, I recommend Hinge. Hinge is pretty good. But
We
let's
didn't meet
say-
on Hinge. We met on Tinder. He recommends Tinder is what he recommends.
Well, I recommend Tinder, but Hinge actually allows you to answer, like you put the pictures and you answer 3 things. You choose what you answer and you can type out, right?
Yeah.
But it's still a swipe and match. It's not like the girl goes first, right? The woman goes first. So
He doesn't like it when the woman goes. He
what
does,
is-
actually.
listen, I think it throws the entire dynamic off. You're already starting like I'm sure, a lot of your average cisgender woman, right? Or that likes dudes wants to feel like a woman as well. And if you're making the approach, I think it throws the dynamic. Where's the seduction in it? I could be off, but
Who does it throw off? You?
Exactly.
Listen, I
like,
have
I
no-
feel fine.
nothing-
I'm good. Like,
listen, nothing throws me off. I just think that the dynamic is men hunt. Simple as that.
fair enough. Men hunt.
I mean, some women hunt too.
hunt. Yes.
We do.
Hard.
Listen,
there's shitty
Because
women
we
out
have
there
to-
too. Like, let's not. There's shitty women out there. Like,
oh, they're the shittiest. We know them intimately.
I've dated
there's
some
so
of them.
many horrible women out there. Some of which that I avoid around town like the plague. And I think that's why I was so attracted to you, because there's so in a sea of just shit women. All of a sudden, one comes up and you're like, yes.
It's true.
Yes.
I am the Madonna.
You're
Oh my
Gaia.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm Gaia, bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My circle's small, real small.
I feel that. No, but no, I get that though. It's like I think that like what you're describing, what I see is like just a lot of fear that you feel from a lot of other women, and it feels like a defensive sort of thing from them, and then they kind of go on the offensive because it's like as women, I think that we have to, or we feel like we have to have this shield up around us so often that sometimes you become bitter about it, and it's like you really, really lean into that. Hey, everybody's kind of against me, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
other women included, and I'm not like that, you know what I mean? I am absolutely 100% a girl's girl. My girls are my sisters, everybody. Like, I believe that the only way that we can be better is by supporting each other, you know, and genuinely. So I'm really super glad you're here.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm here. I felt that from you.
Yeah.
I did.
Good.
We're getting witchy right now.
You know, it's a coven,
Getting a little
and you
witchy
guys
in
are all
here.
invited. So
all
we're going to write a book
invited.
about all the vile things that men have ever said to us. Blow the
Be
lid off.
legit. But no, like the thing that's like what you were asking me before about like a good open line for dudes to say on the apps. I think, I don't know. That's a good question. I know what the worst is. The worst is, hey, how are you?
Kill me. Like, stab me in the fucking
I'm
eye.
good. How are you?
You're like-
Good.
I'll never speak to you
Good.
again. Well, this conversation just died.
You know, everyone's different. And me, I'm a very blunt and direct person, and I'm very confident. So, you know, if a guy's on there and he's like, hey, Kristen, what are you looking for on here? I'm like, cool. This is a good start because now we're just going to get it all out. It's like, are you trying to do this or do you want that? And I like that because
That's fair.
some of them want things I don't want. This one guy, I did try Hinge for a little bit. I gave up on Bumble and then I went to Hinge. And then I gave up on that because this guy, anal's chill, right? We talked about that. It's a vibe. But this guy was he started with anal. He started with it. Yeah.
Some people finish with anal, but he started with anal.
Well, but that's the thing about anal. You can't start with anal. What's wrong with him?
Hey, Kristen, are you into anal?
That's the name of this episode. You can't start with anal.
You can't start with
can't
anal.
start.
You got to warm the oven, you know?
You know, you got to start with the pinky, you know? And
Yeah.
Ages before that. Ages before that. Well, so he was a tool.
Yeah.
I've been there, you know, and it's just like, you know, every man ever, I think, wonders why every woman ever is just like, oh, we're going to have a discussion about this. You know what I mean? And it's because of that one guy on Hinge or Bumble or Tinder that was too hot, too incredibly hot. And you're just like, Jesus fucking Christ, could you please? Like, it's just a bit much, you know?
I don't think those profiles are real. The really, really attractive people on these apps, I don't think they're real.
No?
There's no way. What are you doing on this app? What do you
think that
like?
they're just
I'm on this app because I just can't handle conversations that I'm having with people around town, and they can't handle when I approach them. So I'm like, let me try, but it didn't work out. It's gone. But
Really?
I don't know. I mean,
Given up on it?
yeah, I can't.
Okay.
I'm not going to settle for less. And I want a fucking man. I want a real man that will be so direct with me and be like, I think you're stunning. Like, I need to talk to you. Or like, hey, I think, you know, whatever it is, just anything. Just, you know, I just miss men that make moves. Men
somebody
that
says,
walk
I like your snake pants, you know? I can add a third snake to them.
That's exactly it, you know? Someone offer me a drink.
A gentleman.
My dream. Like, I love it. I want to be approached. I always approach. I think that's why I want it that way. Because I always approach. And it's happened since my 20s, since I was
feel
like
that.
man enough to approach men, you know? It's
Yeah, we were talking about this actually the other day on the podcast. And, you know, I'm of the thought that it's never been easier to approach somebody in the thing because as opposed to 10, 20 years ago, nobody is fucking approaching. So it's just like, maybe if you were getting approached 100 times a day, it's like, fuck, okay. It's like kind of like, okay, maybe as you mentioned, the one guy doesn't get a shot because like, okay, I'm hounded by everybody. But if nobody's approaching you, right? Well, nobody's going through that door, right? Like, so
true.
you know, come up with, you know, like be different. I think and I have this thought, and tell me if you agree on the approach. It requires real vulnerability on the part of whoever's doing the approach, you know, to walk across the room, get shut down, the boss will be like, get the fuck away from me, creep. All these other things that can happen that if now you can also fuck up the landing, right? You make the approach and you say some stupid shit because you're self-conscious or you're stupid about, oh, well, I did the approach. What else does she fucking want, right? And it's like, there's no vulnerability in that either. And if there's no vulnerability in it, then where's the realness? Who are you really? Are you really getting to meet the person that's approaching you? Or to your point, right? Oh, I'm sorry, I don't mean to bother, or, you know, I'm sorry, I just had to come across a thing. Or if you're hanging out with other people, I'm sorry, I know you guys are probably busy. I'll just take a minute. I just had to come say hello or whatever, you know? And it's position yourself in a way that you can be shut down, vulnerable, right? It's like there's less
Yeah.
ego. And I don't know, in my opinion, I found that women respond to that. But I don't know, maybe you can give me your opinions on that.
I mean, yeah, definitely. Women like vulnerability. So,
It's sexy, man.
yeah.
It's real sexy.
Why
And
is that not reciprocated, though?
I don't,
Why doesn't that work in the translation?
Yeah, I think a lot of times, I think women, even really gorgeous women, probably get approached all the time. I think when they're around their girlfriends, some groups are shitty, and some girls,
Fair.
even great girls, are stuck in shitty friend groups. And I was stuck in one for a while, and I got out of it. And
Where they were just shitty
a
to
couple of
everybody?
years ago, yeah, I got out of a whole friend group. I was like, this is toxic as shit, man. I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
And I dropped a whole friend group. And it's
They
like,
weren't helping you grow as a human
yeah,
being.
imagine you have these toxic women that are like, they always have something passive aggressive to say about you. Like, that's cute how you wear that. You know, it's like, and then a man approaches you in your bar and they are all so self-conscious that they'll just be like, ugh, no. So you then act like that, even though you might be interested in that guy. You know what I mean? It's,
So that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's one reason why men are like, I always get turned down. And even if
Okay.
a woman's interested, she has her shitty friends that will say something
Well,
like,
you can't approach a woman in a pack anyway.
oh, you can if you have confidence.
I
And
think
that's-
I'm
oof.
with you. You can, but you have to address it. The thing is, like, you can't walk into something and not address the reality of it. If there's a group of them, you have to address, hey, sorry, sorry to interrupt you. I have, like something like, you can't. You have to address the fact that you are interrupting. Otherwise, to your point, I've noticed that, and Andy and I have talked this about a lot, and it's a phenomenon. I haven't found it in my group of men's friends, but women really weigh each other. Like, some women really like, let's say in the group of women, I've found some groups of women that it's like, let's say, for example, most of my dude friends, like if there's like, they could give two shits about who I'm dating because if they ask me too many questions, like, what, do you want to fuck her? Like, or am I fucking her? Like what are you asking me so many questions? Whereas I found maybe in certain women groups, like they can be toxic to where it's like, okay, now your social status within the group is like what you wear, who you're dating, what kind of things you're into. And if it doesn't conform to the hierarchy, then as you mentioned, let's say you're out with a group of friends, maybe you're not able to be that nice, vulnerable person because you have to play into the part that you are within the group that you're in, right? And I don't know, have you seen
well,
that, or
kinda
why does
like-
that happen? Do you
Yeah,
think?
and it's tough for women. It's tough for girls. I'm not shitting on any woman because the 9 times out of 10, the scenario is you've been friends with these girls since high school, or you've been friends with these girls since college, or you went to her wedding, so you have to still be friends. Like there's ties, but it's
Maybe
just like
something has branched
Yeah.
off in the interim.
exactly. It's just like
since
any
high school,
It's
yeah.
exactly right. It's just like any partnership. If one person is growing and the other one isn't, that's how people grow apart. Doesn't
Sure.
matter if it's friendship, marriage, whatever. I know some of them are still stuck in relationships with other women that they vent to me about, and I'm like, dude, just drop that shit. Like, it's not gonna get better. Like,
fair.
you outgrew this person.
We were talking about it earlier, friendship breakups. We need
Yeah.
to do a casa de thinking about that. What is
Yeah.
a breakup when, it's as heartbreaking sometimes as a breakup with.
It's heartbreaking, and sometimes there's nothing more savage than a girl breakup. I mean, you want
Are
to
they
talk
always
about breakups.
savage though? Like, aren't they always a little bit savage?
I had a savage one 2 years
Were you
ago.
the savage one?
Or the savagery.
We were both,
The
me and this
savaged.
woman, we were both savages to the point where it was like 10 plus people involved, and it broke the entire group.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, we weren't ugly to each other where something happened because we're both powerful women.
And
two
you're women,
torna-
and we never fight directly.
2 hurricanes don't make it right, and everyone knew that. So we're like, it just
Oh, wow.
ended.
So it just naturally.
yeah, because we both
She
knew.
took her territory, you took yours.
It wasn't even
split the turf.
yeah, it was just
Okay.
a clean cut, and I think that got savage because everyone knew if it got to a point where we would start fighting or doing something in any form, both of us are stubborn Leos. We would have never stopped. Like it's
I have a friend like that.
and I loved her. I think she is a great person. I think there was toxicity in our relationship and I didn't even see it. I'm not saying she's bad. I'm not saying I'm bad. Sometimes no one could be at fault and still things end savagely. You know?
Sure. Yeah. Well, maybe you guys just weren't good together.
We were for a while.
That's good.
But then we outgrew each other, and it happened. Our husbands were best friends, so it was like hard to. I think if there wasn't so many ties, it probably we would have gradually just outgrew each other. I mean,
Well, that's so interesting, though. Doesn't she still live in Florida?
no, she's here. She's down the street.
shit,
Yeah, she
girl.
lives here. This happened here.
Oh shit, girl. Okay. Well, you know.
Listen,
then
she shows. I mean, like
avoid her on the streets, I guess.
we would never cross paths unless it was intentional. But
Is she a comic?
no, she's just a civilian.
Oh, okay. A normie. I understand. I know where I stand now.
She's a civilian
in this room.
Oh God,
Jesus.
no offense.
This is all like fucking.
Isn't it uncomfortable to be you? I mean, we're all vibing like us comics, and then here you are, just like.
I'm very cozy.
I mean,
thank you. I'm
brought,
very cozy. Thank you.
Yeah, I bet. I thought I brought down the room with my dead husband, but here you are. You're like comedy.
Oh, comics. Okay.
Who's your favorite comedian?
That was my next question, bitch. Thanks.
That was your first.
It was my first. I stuck it back in my pocket after you said that.
Let's keep it there.
Yeah. Well, we don't care about that as much.
No, yeah, breakups can be a lot, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Breakups are hard break. You know,
Yeah.
you should come back and do a Custom Thinking with us.
Absolutely.
Like,
We've got
you
a
know.
bevy of topics.
I would love that. That sounds great.
Yeah, like what is heartbreak? What is we can do? What is grief?
What is grief? Yeah.
You know,
I'd
what
love
is?
to.
Maybe I got you
know,
for days.
I got you.
friendship breakup.
I got a story for you.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Friendship breakup with Alex, my man.
So, Kristen, if you were looking, you know, this is your camera. If you were to tell anybody that you meet on the apps or on the streets to approach you, what is your advice to them? Like, you know,
What?
like
To approaching
yeah,
me?
like what's the advice to crack the Cush, as they say? You know,
Please tell me that's a saying.
Nobody's ever said that. That's an
To crack
original
the
right
Cush?
there.
Mama likes to eat. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Mama know how to cook.
yeah.
Nothing sexier than a man who knows how to cook.
Oh, a man that cooks for you, not just
yeah,
takes you
but
to dinner.
To a man that approaches me, just fucking do it.
Yeah.
Just fucking do it.
You heard it here first.
Nice. If they were to take you first date, since you mentioned cuisine, right? I mean, where is, and this is for both of you. What cuisine are you eating on the first date, or ideally, what
Ooh,
cuisine
that's
are
a good
you
question.
eating on the
First date cuisine depends how hot he is. Depends how into it I am. If it's someone where I'm like, you know what, physically he's not what I'd go for, but he seems to have a great personality so
Yeah.
far.
And maybe he is a pussy like a champion, right?
You never know.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
never know.
They come in all shapes and sizes.
That's true. 5'5", I've
You
heard.
could see it in their eyes though. Like you
Oh,
could
yeah?
look at a man and you could tell if he did.
He has a glint in his eye.
You could just look at him. You could see it. Like he's like, I would devour you if you gave me the opportunity. And I'm
you
like, yeah, you would.
You know?
I see it in your left eye. Not
It's a
the
left
right one.
eye, you know.
But a good first date cuisine.
Besides Kristen Cushman, you know, being the cuisine there.
Definitely not sushi. I think that could go sideways, right? Mexican's good. I like tacos. Tacos are good. I think pizza's gonna be hit or miss because your
Yeah.
stomach's gonna go one way or another.
Too full,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Italian's too heavy. I'm gonna want a nap after.
Word.
I don't want a nap after, depending on.
No, well, so I have this thing that I say, if a woman takes home leftovers on the first 3 dates, she's never going to fuck you. She's never going to fuck you, ever. Because if a woman's going to fuck you, she's barely going to eat on the first date. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. And it depends where they take you. Maybe they're like, what do you like? And you tell them what you like to eat, and then they take you. And they take you to a fucking brewery that serves sliders. You're like, I know you want to just fuck. Just say that. Like, I'm not eating these sliders. Like, if you just want to, we can go get real food. That's probably going to happen anyway. Why are we at a fucking brewery? Like,
So, but like that, nah, I don't know. I don't let men take me for food for the most part. I'm like, you barely get 30 minutes of my time, let alone a whole meal.
I'll
Are
commit
you
to a meal.
fucking kidding
Hold on.
me?
Your
I'll
dates
commit
are
to
30
it.
minutes? Where?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's a real
Not my
thing.
experience
Have
with
you
that,
ever?
but-
I'm a buckshot dater. You know what I mean? Just like sometimes you just gotta fucking line all those up and knock them out. You know, you're lame. You're lame. You're lame. You're all fucking lame.
What was the most ridiculous excuse? Have you ever used an excuse to get out of a date?
Oh, hundreds of times. Are
What's
you
your
fucking
most
kidding? You don't even
ridiculous
understand
one?
how many dates I've been on. Oh, so many. So the most ridiculous one that I did was I literally did fake going to the bathroom. And then I had driven there with my date. So in his car, I said I had to go to the bathroom, and then I sat in the bar and waited for my cab while the manager of the restaurant went over there and told him that I had left.
Savage.
That's very savage.
It was very savage. And then on the way out, he saw me out of the corner of his eye in the bar, and I went like this. Either way, he started screaming for me and pulling against the manager. It was very dramatic, and I was like, oh my fucking God, this could not have gone better.
Wow.
So, yeah, I'm a G.
Oof, that is gangster shit right there.
Thank
Like,
you.
I'm out. I'm out. Did you eat first or did you do?
We had appetizers. I didn't pay for it. It was at a nice
girl.
restaurant. It was a very nice restaurant. I was like, you're going to pay for all that shit.
I'm gonna get this steak before I leave here.
I'm gonna order. I ordered multiple appetizers, okay,
hell
and
yes,
several glasses of wine, and then I went to the bathroom and I never came back.
See, I
I
would
looked
argue-
good too. Oh, it's like
I
so good. I
believe
was
it.
like, you were so sad sitting there.
I would argue that was his fault as well.
It was 100%
You
his fault.
never do dinner for the first date.
It wasn't a first
Ever.
date.
It wasn't.
It was a second date.
Oh, okay,
What do you do
well.
in the first date if you're not doing dinner?
All men
All
take me
right,
to dinner on the first date.
Listen, and this is my opinion. You know, I used to date a lot when I was living in Austin, and the first date doesn't matter. The first date is an audition. Is you just qualifying leads, right? So
Exactly.
and-
So 30 minutes.
And at the same time, you know, people shared connections through shared experiences. So I'm gonna give you this is a template, manly, girly, exclusive. This is what you do on your first date. Right off the bat, you don't know if you're gonna like the person you're gonna go on a date. So do something that you want right off the bat. So I'd be like, let's say I want to get a workout, and it's like, oh, when I was in Austin, hey, you want to go for hey, let's go for a walk at this park, or let's go for a quick hike, or hey, let's check out whatever this something outside, something you do that for an hour. This also lets you get an hour after, right? Oh, you did your walk. Worst case scenario, it didn't work out. Guess what? You got your fucking walk in, so it doesn't matter. Then let's say it's going well, right? You did the little walk. You got to know them a little bit. You know, if you didn't like it, you're like, okay, bye. Yeah, I'll call you. Never gonna happen, right? But if it goes well, you structure it specifically so that it's nearby a cool place with drinks, and be like, hey, by the way, oh yeah, it was great. Hey, by the way, I know this cool like little spot. They make a great margarita. They make a great whatever. You want to grab a drink real quick? If it's 5 and they're going well, they're gonna be like, yeah, great. No food still. No food whatsoever. You go, maybe they have some live music or whatever, a little hole in the wall, somewhere cool. Somewhere where it's like, oh, this guy, like knows the area. Then you do that for an hour. More conversation, right? You're getting to know them a little bit more. Now you already know that they like doing the thing that you liked at the beginning, right? That you would have done anyways. Now you're onto the spot. After that, you get your second 2 hour in. Right? You've already been on 2 days, 2 shared experiences. If it doesn't go well, you get the out. And if it's still going well, oh, by the way, are you hungry? Like, there's this, they make a great tacos, like, there's a couple blocks away, right? And then you go get some, light snacks, some light finger food, and you end the date after 3 hours. Unless you're going to sleep with them, then you don't end it. But if it's not going in that direction, you end it right there. And that's where you really set up for the second date. Hey, I'd love to see you again. Are you busy next Thursday? There's this show, or there's this comedy show. This is whatever that I'd like to take you to. And that's how you do a first date. And you can really switch out
That's
the
how
three
you do a
things.
first date.
But
According to our tarot.
you have 3 dates. You have shared experiences. It's really no pressure. One time we went on a park. I took a date to a park on a walk. There was nowhere for a cool place, but we were vibing. I'm like, hey, you want to sit down and have some need? I brought some beers in the cooler, and I set up a picnic in my bag, right? So all of a sudden now it's like an hour. Okay, we're vibing. I like this person. We went on a walk, and guess what? I look like a fucking G by having a picnic set up. But guess what? If we're not vibing, that's not coming out of the car and they don't even know about it. So, yeah, it's all about shared experiences.
I feel like if you were to put what you just described in like a gaming form, I feel like you just described like how to win Mario Brothers, the original. Like you went through levels. You're like, first you got to walk through the forest, and if that's cool, then you got to defeat the dragon in the castle. And then if that's cool,
a big influence,
you're like, make it to the next level. That's your dates. You're like, let's see if you can beat level 1 Mario Brothers in
Yeah.
It's
1985.
multiple times. But it really has to be honest. It has to be vulnerable. It has to be something that you want to do. Otherwise, you're never going to get past that first date, that first hour, right?
Oof, that's a commitment to commit to a walk with someone. What if you just like what if 20 minutes in?
This is why I'm saying this never would have worked with me because I was a 30-minute.
Hey, listen, I work with you because I took you to karaoke, like on our first date.
She's a 30-minute girl.
And she wasn't.
Yes,
she
because-
says that now, but she was not a 30-minute girl when we met. Okay, listen, we went to karaoke. And I sang, and she just, made out with me right after, my set.
See, I made the first move.
And here we are.
Is what I heard.
You found the only man who's okay with it.
Yep, pretty much.
That's it.
Pretty much.
That's it.
Yeah.
When are you going to teach the rest some confidence? Can you imagine being a man, a grown man, and being offended or upset that a beautiful woman said, "Hey, I think you're really
Yes,
cute.
I
Can I talk
because
to you?"
I've literally seen it so many times. The fear and confusion in their face is so this is what you fucking want, isn't it? Isn't it
Yes.
what you want? Like, I'm really pretty and you like me.
And a woman approaching you, that means she has made the decision.
She's
I'm gonna sleep with this person if I have the
pretty
chance.
much.
So much so, I'm gonna approach them. Like,
far as to go
that's a good
across this
call.
bar. Yes.
you think I'm gonna approach a man and then not have sex with him if it comes up? Like I'm approaching you.
But this is what I think that it has to do with American men, not just white men, but American men.
Gringos, as we call them.
Gringos, as we call them. It's they just lose. I don't even know. It's like genuinely that fear and confusion in their face is like so fucking mind-boggling to me because where's your animal instinct, motherfucker?
Oof.
Yeah.
It's what is that?
know.
Sensitive masculinity or fragile masculinity? This one other guy that I went on a date with. We went on a few dates, and he was so insecure, and that's what stopped it. He was so insecure. He would compare himself to any other man. I'm like, what are you doing right now?
Oh,
And he's like, well, what about him? I'm like, if I wanted to be with him, wouldn't I be on a date with him? Like, it was people I didn't even know. Like, in a
Nothing dress
restaurant.
up a pussy like Insecurity, in my opinion.
Oh, like the Mojave Desert. Are you kidding me? Like, I had a man come up to me when I was on a date at a bar. He waited until my date went to the bathroom and then came up and talked to me. He's like, hey, I feel like you're really not enjoying this date or whatever's happening here. So
How did you respond to that?
I was just like, you could try to find me if you want to. And he did. He said, what apps are you on? And then he downloaded those apps and he sat over in that corner and just fucking swiped until he found me.
Kristen's like, give me his number.
He was ready. He was like, what that purple hair do, girl? Like, I want that purple hair in my shower.
The thing of it is that, yeah, you're absolutely right. Confidence will go a long way, but he wasn't very handsome. So
I'd give ugly dudes a shot.
I would give ugly dudes
listen,
that's,
if you...
That's true, but
Yeah.
I think that there's like a limit to my ugly, I guess.
Fair enough. Yeah,
You know?
for sure. Yeah. I mean, if you don't if the hygiene's on point and the personality's on point, I'll fuck with it. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
We could, if we're vibing, I'll go on your Mario Brothers hike through the woods to get to the
I will
margaritas.
I will adjust it
and
for
to
North
save the
Carolina. North
princess.
Carolina. Okay, let's go to, what are you doing Saturday morning? I'm going to go check out the farmer's market. You down to come? And then people will be like, oh, well, yeah, fuck it, And then after an hour in the first, it really doesn't matter. It just has to be something that the person asking out on the date that you would like to do, regardless of whether you're on a date. It's kind of showing them a little bit of yourself. And you're also filtering out for anybody. It's like, guess what? If you like going to the farmer's market or going on a walk and this person doesn't like it, guess what? Maybe there's gonna be much more limited compatibility. It doesn't have to be a hike in the woods. It could be paddle boarding, right? It could be whatever. Something I think basically it's something non-committal, something like not money related, right? Like something I think a lot of dudes like the Tesla dude try to like win you with money or trying to win you with things, and there's no winning to be had.
No, with
and
money,
I
yeah.
think that's where they make a mistake. So it actually puts it on neutral ground. There's nothing to win because you're not flaunting shit.
Yeah.
You know? So I don't know.
But you're describing boyfriend vibes on first date, like paddleboarding with or boats with a boy or a man, whatever, with someone you're. That's like boyfriend vibes, right? Like
Is it?
farmers
I don't
market
know.
on a Sunday. That's like
I
boyfriend.
was gonna say
That's how
I mean, if a
situations
man-
happen.
Well,
That's how
if a man invited
That's why it's
me
only an
to
hour. Only an hour.
Well, but that's just it. Is like if a man had invited me to a farmer's market, I'd be like, oh, not where I'm going to get stuck with you for a fucking hour. So, you know, you need to have an out. So I like how you describe first dates as you having an out. I would also like an out.
Oh, it's about an out for both of you. Because guess what? Worst case scenario. Okay, you went on a walk. You went to the farmer's market. No sweat. It's non-threatening. It is a non-committing,
Fair enough.
non-committal first date. You can do whatever. You know, you're like, okay, worst case scenario, I just fucking leave. You know, but if it goes well,
And just go to the bathroom. Tell the
absolutely.
manager,
Yeah.
you
You
know.
know, I mean, how many? I would hate. I have no idea, but I would hate to be invited to dinner if I'm thinking if I was a woman, and then you ever know when you like want to leave a place and you're like, fuck, you know, like,
yeah.
they're still talking, I can't
That's
leave.
why I don't
you
go to
know?
dinner.
You know, it's insane. I think dinners on the first date are out. I
So
think
do
it's a
you
bad
you
move.
do that though? You go
I commit to dinner. I'm old school.
But wait, don't.
I'm
But
super
what
old school.
happens if like that? Like there's got to be so many of them that are so bad.
So-
the majority of them are so bad.
Yeah, great question. So they are all bad so far. And when
they're bad.
when I come across
Maybe
one
dinner's
that's
the
so
issue.
you I just analyze them in my head, and,
And you
it's so
enjoy
fun.
your shrimp scampi.
Yeah, I'm just like, wow, you are passive aggressive, and you project, and you have trauma, childhood trauma you haven't worked through, and there's something weird about you and your mom I haven't figured out yet. Like
And
you,
probably
as
your
people
penis.
talk, it comes
And
out, and I'm
probably
like,
your
you are so much. This is now entertaining, even though you'll never see my vagina. Like this is still working for me. Can you pass the shrimp? Like,
See, and I appreciate that. I just like to do it in a quicker snapshot because I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, these 15, 30 minutes, I can figure out within the first 5 minutes if I'm ever going to sleep with you.
I think it's less
And
than 5
so
minutes.
then the rest of
Yeah.
it is me just enjoying my time and my whatever, and then going on my merry way. And it was just a fun story for me, you know?
I've done a lot to leave early. I have left early. I faked a period. I went to the bathroom. I faked a period without going to the bathroom one time. I sat there and looked a man in the eyes, and I was like, I have to go home. He's like, why? I was like, I just got my period. He's like, how do you know? I was like, I felt it. It's happening right now.
It's happening literally right now. And then he's so horrified and disgusted
took
that
me
he's
home.
just like, I would like to leave also.
It was in Key West, and I was a terrible person then. I ran through that island like it was healthy. And,
Did he not say, you don't need a tampon, baby? I'll lick you up right now.
oh, God. Can you imagine? I'm like, I want to see you do it just to see.
revolting.
He took me home, and I went back out, and I ran into him at another bar.
Oh, my God.
I know.
That's
it's
good.
Small
I've
island.
so been there. Yeah,
that's
yeah,
true.
yeah.
There's only that street.
Too
yeah.
small,
Yeah.
man. To
Well,
Ball Street, that's all you
I
got.
mean, I feel like that could happen to anybody.
Yeah, I
You
think
know?
it's like
Who
20
hasn't
nothing,
that
you
happened to?
He had potential. He was a tall fireman, and I think all tall firemen are like lengthy. You know, like the ones that I've come across.
They're damaged, is what they
oh,
are.
he was so damaged, but oh,
That's why they have
God,
to go out there
so-
and risk their lives because they're like, I'm struggling as a person, so I need to go be a hero.
They look so good naked.
They look so good.
like really.
That's why they make those calendars.
It's like I'm almost okay with how you want to fuck your mom. Like it's making me nervous still, but you look really good without a shirt on. It's confusing. Like I don't know. I like toxicity. I think again. This is
Oh,
nice.
shit. You know, that was the old you.
That was the old me.
Yeah, you're like, now I'm just trying to get some free cheddar biscuits. So
Some free cheddar biscuits. Men that just like say cool man shit to me.
That don't drive electric cars, so you're not an electric car fan. You don't
No.
want your man to. You want a truck.
I want to. No, I
You
just
want
like.
a dually. Him to pull up in a dually.
I like anything that's fast.
yeah.
Teslas are fast.
I like anything that's a real engine.
Oh yeah, there you go. There you go.
They make like this little hum noise.
Yeah, I
It's
don't
very-
need humming. I have things that hum. We're
Yeah,
good there.
fair.
I just
Yeah.
I need something that like blows smoke out of the end, like a motorcycle or
Dudes definitely
huge
do.
truck.
They're super
Like,
gross.
the ones that look like you think they have a small dick because of their trucks. Don't threaten me with a good time. Like those guys.
Really?
Yeah, like the like the no neck daddies, the blue collar daddies. Yes.
Really?
Yes, just raw dogging life with that truck. Like
Okay.
blowing up the ozone layer with that
Okay.
diesel. Yeah, that's my shit.
It almost seems
Okay.
like those men would be very available because I don't know if a lot of like,
What?
like it's very old school. Like,
Well, they're all married.
In a
They
carbon
are all
conscious
married.
They're all
world. Oh,
married.
okay,
That's
yeah.
just it. They found a breeder and they just settled down early and they're like, get that shit on lock in high school,
They found a breeder.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what we
no.
are.
We are
Straight
breeders.
cis het women.
I had a
Just
guy friend
breeders.
the other night. This dude I do comedy with. He hit me up and he was like, it worked in the conversation. He wasn't just being a weirdo, like, I wonder what Kristen's ovaries are doing today. But he was like,
You're like ovulating,
I'm
daddy.
like, do you want to have lunch? Like, I don't know. He's like, you're at that age where you got to have kids soon, Are you thinking about having kids? I was like, my man, don't you have like 4 baby mamas? Like, you're worried about me right now?
Was it Dyson?
No, Dyson would never.
He'd be on the first date. He'd be trying to put a baby.
Trying to
in.
get you pregnant.
He does like
Dyson,
them
you
white
said
girls.
this on the podcast yourself.
No, Dyson wouldn't talk to me like that. I don't know. He talks to other women, but
It's hilarious,
He's
by
not
the
trying
way.
to-
listen, I know I can't have
Dyson's
kids.
the nicest.
He
No,
is.
Really?
He's
We love
wonderful. I
Dyson.
can't have kids because I analyzed it after my guy friend said this to me. I was like, why don't I want kids? Why don't I want kids? And I thought about it, and I come to the conclusion that I just spend too much money on weed. You
I
know what
hear
I mean?
that,
Like
yes.
We do know what you mean.
I
way
do know
too
what you
much.
mean,
Like I
yeah.
would spend diaper money on an eighth. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
that's not beneath
I do
me.
know.
Like that's not. Like
Yeah,
my
yeah.
kid would know how to roll a blunt in kindergarten. He'll like take the Play-Doh. I'm like, Mama's got to teach him young. Like you're living
hear
here,
ya.
you're getting high as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't. I will.
You're going to be such a good mom.
I'm gonna be the best mom.
Okay.
That's very Florida, by the way.
That's incredibly
I'm gonna get a
Florida.
big truck and I'm gonna get my kid high.
Welcome to Florida, baby. Let's go.
Hell yeah. Well, I think we're like a bit over an hour. Let's save some for next time. We want to have you back, right? Like
Yes,
100%.
absolutely. For Casa de Thinking.
I'll come back for
Um,
anything to this
yeah.
house. I love you guys.
you.
This was
Oh,
great.
we
This was
love you. You're great.
Wonderful.
So I guess to everybody, thanks again for watching the show. Kristen, where can they find you?
I got a show coming up on the 15th in Youngsville. Very
Youngsville.
thrilling. Almost sold out. Get your tickets soon.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'll be there with Pamela Zapala. I don't know if you met her, but she's wonderful.
Yeah.
We're going to
Another
do a
local
show out
comic.
there on the 15th at Bud's Tavern.
Blitz Tab.
Come hungry.
Where can we find you? Are you on Instagram?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram at Chris Cush, KrisCush.
Slide into
That's
those
hilarious.
DMs, fellas.
Slide into those DM, baby. Take me out.
Only if you got a big truck and a thick neck.
What that truck do, though? What that truck do, though?
What that dually do?
Or if you're a short immigrant and you're in the back of that truck.
Yes, green cards are available. Holla at your girl.
Oh, awesome. Well, thank you very much, Kristen.
Yeah.
Andy, thank you very much. This has been Manly Girly. Thank you.